Yo, what is up, YouTube boxing family? It's K right here. I'm back at it with another good video for you guys today for some boxing content. Yeah, let's get right into it. I figured I'd talk about Jaron Ennis. I guess as far as Jaron Ennis fans, per se, of why are they trying to push this fight between Jaron Ennis and Errol Spence. And, I guess to make this a little bit, how should I say, non-biased as possible, because I try to come in objective in my videos. I'm really trying to understand, like, what is the whole point of trying to push for a Errol Spence fight, simply due to the manner that Jaron Ennis, he's, he is, he's a great fighter. I don't have anything negative to say about Jaron. I've always respected his skills and abilities, but I think there's something interesting here that a lot of us can agree to say that Jaron Ennis is at the point of his career where he's trying to go for the big fights, but there's something weird about the situation where his fans and his audience, they're trying to push for the Errol Spence fight, in which that's a good marketable move, but I think, the reason why they're doing this is because, one, obviously Errol Spence is a target for 3 belts. Any, up-and-coming welterweight would want to take those belts away from him, but I don't think that's really the case. I think it's because Errol Spence is starting to become a more bigger danger to everyone else in the division, and Jaron Ennis is the only person in this division that could easily take over EJ, to which he's very, very close of trying to skyrocket his name if he's able to get any big fight in the welterweight division. As you see here on BoxRec, he's ranked number 7 in the world, to which, I mean, the rankings don't really mean anything, but we as hardcore boxing fans, we obviously understand that Jaron Ennis, he's basically close to being number 1 in the welterweight division. He just needs his, all of his big fights, and I think eventually, we'll start to see Jaron Ennis, rise up a lot faster in his career. The biggest takeaway from this is that who is Jaron Ennis going to be fighting next? Because we don't know who he's going to be fighting next. He said he's going to be back in the ring by October or November. I don't like that personally, because that's such a long layoff. He's taken like a good 5 to 6 months coming back to the ring, and I'm see, personally for me, I'm not a fan of fighters coming back within like a 2 to 3 fights a year type of thing. I like seeing fighters come back to the ring as soon as possible, and I think it's best to see a guy like Jaron Ennis where he says he wants to become like a multi-division undisputed world champion. I think it's pretty much fair to say that Jaron Ennis, he needs to start climbing now. He's 25 years old. He's literally in the prime of his career right now. But the issue of the matter is just that, he needs to start getting these big high-level names in, which I think he will. But the problem is just when. Jaron Ennis, either he's being put in a tough political position where he has to go through this nonsensical waiting period just to get a shot, in which I can understand from the Boots crowd. They would want that Errol Spence fight because they know if Errol Spence gets defeated by Jaron Ennis, that's going to put Jaron Ennis in a bigger position, and then Errol Spence, he would just have to move on and probably move up to 154 if he's not able to get the fight with Crawford. But then, he obviously wants to, I'm just theoretically spitballing here, but it's like if he fights Jaron Ennis before he moves up to 154, it makes a lot better sense for him to do that, for him to just kind of clean out, the biggest killer in the welterweight division, in which Errol Spence says, don't worry, we're going to fight. That's what he said to Jaron Ennis, but the question is just is he going to fight Ennis at 154 or 147? And I think if I'm Errol Spence, I would take out Boots right now. I would get him out of the way at 147. I think 147 is at the easiest mode of Errol Spence's career, of him being in the best of his prime, to defeat Jaron Ennis potentially at 147, because at 154, Jaron Ennis, he's going to have a lot more experience. He's going to bring that experience from 147 up to 154. And I think that's going to play a very huge factor in the near future, because Errol Spence, I don't know how many years he would have left in his prime. I would probably say at least a good like 4 years left. I don't want to see Spence fight, up until his 40s. I think like getting out of the game by like 35 or 36 years old. I think that's a very good age to kind of, drain out as much, as much money as possible, or to cash out as much money as possible, and to do the things that you want to do to be successful. So, I mean, that's just me personally. I think Errol Spence deserves it, and I like to see what he can do, because I think EJ, he would definitely give Jaron Ennis his most difficult fight. But it's like, would you rather fight Boots when you're at the top of the welterweight division, being unified with your belts, if you can't, if you can't get Crawford, which I don't think Spence and Crawford is gonna happen. I think Terrence Crawford, he's too much of a pussy. He's not, he's not gonna fight Errol Spence, and I think Spence and Crawford, they're they're gonna just part ways. And sadly, I think Errol Spence, he's gonna have to just get his undisputed titles at 154, and I think that makes, the most sense in the world, because Errol Spence, he doesn't have that much time left in trying to get this fight made with Crawford, because we're already almost heading to the very end of the month for November. So it's like within like a week or two, November is going to be done, and then we also have September, which that's going to be a huge month for boxing, for Shakur Stevenson, Clarissa Shields versus Savannah, and then Alicia Baumgartner. Shout out to Alicia. I got Alicia over, the other lady, Michaela Mayer. But yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. I'm definitely looking forward to it. These next couple weeks are gonna be fire, though. Unfortunately, Adrian Broner, he was supposed to fight this upcoming weekend, but unfortunately, I guess due to some mental health issues, he pulled out of the fight. So now I'm hearing that, I guess, Sergey Lipinets, he's gonna probably, take over as a last minute replacement to fight Omar Figueroa. So I mean, if that card's still happening, which I really hope so, because it's like, honestly, for stuff like that, they should always have backups, that are ready to just take the call and go ahead and fight. So I mean, that's just me, though. But yeah, in regards to EJ and Jaron Ennis, I find it weird that Jaron Ennis's fan base is trying to push for this fight, and I think the reason why is because Errol Spence, he's the money man out of the division, and before he leaves 147, he wants to get that Crawford fight to become undisputed at 147, which he has every right to become undisputed, because I don't see Crawford ever beating Spence any day of the week, and I think Errol Spence will annihilate and crush Terrence Crawford. So here's the problem. I think the problem is just that when you look at the political landscape, after EJ and Crawford saga ends, Jaron Ennis, he's going to have to be called up to, to either become a mandatory for the IBF, and then I'd probably say potentially the WBA and WBC. I know he's ranked like top 3 in either of those sanctioned bodies. Same thing with the WBO too. So I mean, Jaron Ennis, he's probably going to get a shot through the IBF, and sadly, if Errol Spence, if he can't get Crawford, I think, for me personally, I want to see Errol Spence just leave 147. I'm not saying that he should duck Jaron Ennis. I think, if Errol Spence is trying to be kind for Jaron Ennis, I think he should just leave 147 open for Boots, because if you let, the IBF, belts, or the IBF belt get vacated, like, theoretically, if Spence vacates all the titles, it's a better look for him to let Jaron Ennis go ahead and get his title, and then Virgil Ortiz, as like as stupid as he is, he thinks he's gonna automatically fight Errol Spence in a title mandatory shot, where the WBC or the WBA, they're gonna just basically mandate that fight to him, and I don't think so. I don't see any of that shit happening. I think Virgil Ortiz, he's probably just gonna get his belt through the WBC because, I personally think what's gonna happen is just that Spence and Crawford, it's not gonna happen. We're already nearing the end of August for the month, and then on top of that, Errol Spence is having to go through more stipulations of trying to see which route is the better route to go. Because if he goes up to 154, that's a great, that's a great decision. But the problem is that, he would probably have to wait for Jermell Charlo to vacate, which I think he's gonna do that because Jermell Charlo, he's friends with Errol Spence. He's not gonna be stupid to just kind of keep those belts hostage. He's just gonna be like, all right, I'm going up to middleweight after I beat up Tim Zoo's ass. So I think he's gonna whip Tim Zoo, and Tim Zoo, he's just gonna be cannon fodder for anybody else at 154. But yeah, Errol Spence, he definitely will get his automatic title shot when he moves up to 154. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I don't really have that much else to really say. I'm pretty sure Jaron Ennis, when he does return back to the ring, it's probably gonna just be like another title eliminator, and then after that, it would have to be like a title shot by the end of the year. Because I don't see why Errol Spence would want to stay at 147 if he can't get Crawford. Because Jaron Ennis doesn't bring anything to the table. There's no business gain out of it. And even though that fight will be on pay-per-view, it's just like, yeah, the numbers would do amazing. But Jaron Ennis, he's not a superstar yet. So I think for Boots and Errol, they're best to fight each other at 154 as soon as Jaron Ennis gets a belt. But I don't think that they're ever gonna fight each other because Errol Spence, he wants undisputed, so he's gonna move up to 54 and he's just gonna do his stuff up there. So I think Jaron Ennis, he's gonna have a lot of work in front of him to unify 147, and I think that's what's gonna happen. I think Showtime and the PBC, they're gonna do anything in their power to make sure that they can get those belts. Because if Jaron Ennis, if he cannot unify 147, then I won't be surprised if he moves up to 154 and tries to get undisputed there. Because he says he wants to become a 3-division undisputed world champion, which I don't blame him. But it's like, with politics in the way and fighters acting like pussies to say, oh, well, I don't want to fight him, or no, I don't I don't want to fight her. She's too tough. Like, nah, get the fuck out of here, man. If you're a champion, you need to be fighting like a champion against other champions. It's just like I don't know. It's just basic, simple math to me. But that's pretty much it, man. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that Jaron Ennis and Errol Spence are gonna fight at 147, or do you think this fight's never gonna happen at all? So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Have a good day. Peace out and goodbye.